most of you, not all, but by the end of the year I'll get to know everyone. That's how I operate. If there's any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. If you do have questions as far as what we're doing on the ice, what we're doing off the ice when it gets to that point, I'll just tell you there's a rhyme and a reason to doing that. And if you want to know more, and if you want to be able to know more, do the coaching clinics and then learn as a coach. What I say is, especially at this level, enjoy your kids, enjoy watching them play, be a great representation not only for yourself, but for your kids and also for the organization, because if you are going to be part of this, it's going to be a long career and a long road ahead of you, so have no regrets. And being a U8, yes, it's intense, but it gets more intense as you get older. And then you'll sit back and go, man, I wish I didn't do that, or I wish I would have done this. And so that's basically the main message is enjoy your kids, encourage them, don't force them, guide them, but don't dictate what they should and shouldn't do, especially when it comes to playing hockey. Let the coaches deal with that. Let myself, let Jesse, let all the ones that have been around the game that understand it, guide the kids on the ice to give the proper instruction, because we've been there, we've done that, we do know what we're talking about, and there will never be a situation where myself or another coach will give a kid the wrong direction. We always give kids the right tools to succeed. It's never going to be the wrong message. And that's the main goal, because I was a U8. Every hockey player that has played every level has been a U8.
I was the same size as U8.
And you were the same size. I was the same size at U8. I stopped growing at 14. But that's the thing, and this is such a wonderful game, such a wonderful sport. Enjoy it. Be passionate about it. But just understand that kids grow up so fast, and they either have it, and then they go with it, but then there's others that don't have it, that have to work a little extra harder for it. And just understanding that the best thing to do is just be there as support. Be there as a support system, just like your parents were to you. And
life lessons. It's about life lessons. It's not about making the NHL. It's about life lessons.
Because I'll tell you, it's a hard thing to get to playing at certain levels, and it just gets harder and harder and harder, and then that window gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and then there's more people that want it more than you, more than you, more than you, more than you, and so it's a long road, but it's a fun road. It's very rewarding. And the thing about hockey is you can play the game at U8 and you can play the game at 98. So that's the thing. Love it, enjoy it, love your kids, support your kids. Yes, you can get mad at your coaches, but just like I said, we're giving them the right messages. So if you have anything to counter that, I'd be free to talk to you about it.
So, do you have any more, Gabe?
No, I'm good.
So just that, the competitiveness comes as you get older. Just this is why we talk so much about fun at U8s, okay? Because the minute you become a squirt, it is competitive. It is no longer fun. It is competitive, and you're there to win. And so it changes, right? It doesn't mean we're not teaching competition. But anyway, that's probably the last thing that I wanted to say, except for opening up to questions and answers. Do you have more?
I have 2 cents I want to throw in. I know the question always comes up about schedule. Is it always the same at the start of the year? The answer is yes. And just so you know, we do compete with Colorado Select, Denver, Secret City, Chatfield, Dakota Ridge, Columbine High School, adult hockey leagues. We are a small rink, and we have to juggle all those times against what we want for UA, not to mention our own teams. So I will say this, I thank Don and I thank Dave because they fight for quality ice time for us. The times that we start are times when our kids are awake. especially this year. You know, last year, the times we had Sunday early, you know, Sunday at 6 a.m. Don was not joking about that. And if you look at a lot of other rinks, they start 6 a.m., Saturday, Sunday, every day. And that doesn't mean you skate every day at 6 a.m., but you will get your turns to skate. So, yes, it is crazy right now. Yes, we do have a lot of competition. Yes, it's ongoing to juggle it this time of year and to get the schedule out. But, you know, you're in it for a year, and I will say the quality start times for our kids are super appreciated. So bear with us is all the sand is settling here these first 2 weeks. But at the same time, know that these guys are fighting for us and for you to get those great times for our kids when they can skate. And we actually, what I look at from other teams' calendars, we get more ice time from them. So that's another bonus.
You get more ice time and you get AAA coaching, if you know what that means. You got Gabe, Jesse, Brian, and Matt. You can't. That's AAA coaches for U8 recreational hockey. It's pretty cool.
Question?
Yeah, we were waiting for Gabe to arrive, so he could clarify more the major, minor, and how the teams are gonna pan out for this.
So the question is about the U8 major minor and how the teams will be split up and directed towards game.
Simple. Majors are 2010, so that means they're the birth years that are graduating up to squirt the next level. And then from there, we'll have the kids either advanced or intermediate. If there's kids that are majors that I feel should go down just based on skill level, we'll have that conversation. If there's kids in the minors, same thing, we'll have that conversation. But the reason why I'm doing that is because of getting the bar set straight. So when you are moving up levels, you have 2 years at each level. So when you go to squirt, right, next year it'll be 2010s and 2011s. The following year it'll be 2010s and 11s. So the progression each year is, if you're playing with your best friend who's a 2009 last year, they move up to squirt, you stay at U8, but then you get to play with them if you make that team the next year. So it's just working on the progression, getting you accustomed to knowing that each year, if you're that second year, you're moving up the next level. So everything that's being worked on the ice and off the ice, is getting them ready for that next level.
So will the majors have one team? I guess I'm just trying to figure out from a team.
No, so there'll be multiple teams divided through the majors.
And then, I know, Nathan, you alluded as far as then there's going to be, will there be a team manager for each of those teams within majors and minors?
There'll be a team manager for each team. So if there's an advanced and an intermediate team at majors, there'll be 2 team managers. One for advanced, one for intermediate. If there's 4 advanced teams, there'll be 4 team managers at majors. Yeah, same thing for minors. Does that help?
Yeah, I thought we talked about changing that.
We did discuss it, and after further discussions, change back.
As far as trying not to have a team manager for each team.
Having a single team manager for advanced, single team manager for intermediate, single team
So
manager.
let me be clear, 1 team manager per team. If there's 4 advanced teams, there's 4 team managers. That's how you wanted to change it, right?
No,
You want 1 team
We had
manager
some
for
success.
advanced?
Last year with beginners having 1 manager for 2 beginner teams, because oftentimes you didn't have enough players.
Yeah.
So
So I just want to keep you on with it. At beginners, it works at beginners. So, and Gabe, you jump in here about
Well, because
I'm about to say.
So for advanced intermediate, then you have friendlies, you have certain jams you go to, right? So there could be a situation where team 1 and team 4 want to go to this jamboree, but then team 2 and team 3 don't, right? So then you have that team manager then organizes and then gets with the treasurer to say, okay, well, team 1 and 4 want to go, team 2 and 3 don't want to go. As far as beginner, yes, because you have very minimal tournaments, very minimal jamborees, so it does make sense to a point. We'll talk a little further about it, right? So there's nothing concrete yet, but we'll get there and we'll have an answer for you.
And I will say the handing off the friendlies to the managers is new this year, so that's an added wrinkle. And so as far as the burden on the managers, I mean, we'll feel it out. We're gonna see how it works.
So I want to add to, you guys talk jamborees, people understand that certain jamborees are just beginners, and certain jamborees are advanced intermediate, and certain are advanced. And so understand that, they usually say it on whatever website.
Correct.
Yeah, each jamboree is dedicated to a certain group, right? So it's not, our catch and edge is for every level. There's others that are, like he said, just an advanced, just an intermediate, just a beginner, and those are at different times of the year.
And for those new to the Flyers, the dance is the best way for your kids to match up with somebody who's big skill level. You know you're playing beginner, you know you're playing intermediate, you know you're playing advanced.
So, from experience from like the last year, teams were challenging because when you get a team assignment, and I know the team that we were assigned, we spent 2 months without having ever more than 5 people who signed up for camps. And so I don't know how that will change this year based on the fact that a number of people are returning parents. But that was one of the reasons why it's really hard, and I know we ended up with Tammy to try to say, well, do we have enough between those two skill levels for the member team? So I don't know how that will go this year. And I think there was questions too, if advance is expected to go to 4 jams, is that selected from the team? Like you pick at the beginning of the year and the whole team goes?
Yes.
Or is it just, these are what's available, and we all sign up for whatever we sign up for? I think that's some questions.
Okay, so what we'll do then is we'll have a team manager meeting at the point that teams are assigned, and we'll make that decision then. That's how we do it at the older levels. So at the older levels, you make the Squirt A team, you go to the Squirt A meeting, and at the Squirt A meeting, the coach tells you which tournaments we're going to. And so we'll do the same thing. We'll say, these are the jams we're going to.
And if you don't like it, then you don't have to be part of it.
Yeah, I think we just had a challenge where there were
Yeah.
some folks, like, we signed up for every jam, and for the first 2 months, we didn't get to go to any of them because we didn't have enough players.
Right, so
And so
there is
we
a,
figured
yeah.
out teams, and it was hard, and then there were other people who weren't interested in signing up for any jam. So we had a spectrum of people committed to the jam.
Right, so yes, an obligation level based on being part of a team and understanding that, right? That if you want to be part of this team, this is the obligation throughout the year. If you don't want to be a part of it, then we'll find a different solution for you. That's the reason why having the majors is getting that accustomed to understanding that when you make a team, this is what you're going to be a part of, this is what you're going to be doing, and this is how it goes throughout the year. If you don't like it, if you're not wanting to do that, if you just want to do all the skills and all the in-house stuff, we have a spot for that as well.
Just so you know, sorry, real quick, I don't want to keep us going, but that's probably, last year is probably the first year that that's ever happened. It's usually the absolute opposite, that there are people who are begging to go to a jam. So, you know, I don't know how that worked last year, but I'll help you guys fix that.
Speaking of begging to go to a jam,
Yeah,
is the 4, 3, and 2 like the max, or can we go to more?
It's recommended, and the reason why is because, like I said, have fun, do other sports too, right? Have the
Live
kids
life.
involved, and just, right? So that there's no rush to jump into so much, because I will say too, is hockey's very expensive, right? So if you put all your eggs in one basket at U8, then there might be a dip into another fund, right, as you get older. So it's just understanding, go at it progressively, and understand that it's a long, long path, you know what I mean? And just enjoy what you're doing now instead of overdoing it and then burning them out.
So you guys are recommending those?
Correct.
Strictly.
catch and edge is required. Catch and edge is required. Beyond that, I gave you the recommendations.
So then say we're on majors, so then there would be basically 4
Mhm.
jams that you go to. But
5.
well, with Catch and Edge. But with the sign up genius that you already sent out, are you gonna look at like how many people sign up for those and then the teams, like the
So-
majority of people on
And
that
that'll
team
probably
go
have
to
to be
that?
adjusted.
and stuff because a lot of people work weekends, and that's why we choose certain jams last year
Right.
because we could go to those ones versus others.
So the Sonic Genius was sent out to be ahead of the game, so
Yeah.
to speak. But the
I don't think it worked out like we
Right,
wanted it to.
so we'll be looking, you know, I think
But
we'll
like if
still
you
use the
took
Sonic
it,
Genius.
well, I don't think anyone used the Sign Up Genius because you don't know what team you're on.
Right.
Like,
And I was setting them up with the links, and so whether we use them in the future or not, it sounds like we're actually just gonna be meeting with the managers, like with the other teams, and saying this is our jam schedule, just like a game schedule. So like I said, or like you mentioned, Colorado doesn't set us a game schedule, they don't set us a friendly schedule, the jams have become that.
so then we'll know that by like November.
Yes.
Hopefully
For
earlier.
planning.
Yeah, hopefully earlier because there are some earlier jams.
Okay.
Yes.
Question.
She's been
You
trying.
alluded to kind of October being fun, the first week of November being evaluation. Is that going to be like cumulative, coaches watching up until that point to divide, or are there specific days, like you said, other sports, other activities come in, that certain days we have to be there for evaluation?
Yep, so it'll be cumulative, and then there'll be an evaluation day. And at that evaluation day, Gabe and the Hockey Operations Committee, which is made up of the tier coaches across the organization, will come out on the ice and do the evaluations. So that'll be communicated what the evaluation day is.
Hopefully sooner than later.
You don't know that date yet?
October 30th. And every time that I step on the ice, every time that Jesse steps on the ice, all the coaches, we're always watching. So we're not sitting there with a clipboard and a scale system, but we know, we can see, and then as it progresses, it becomes easier and easier. So then that October 30th is pretty much a breeze.
So it'll always be Tuesday, Friday, Sunday, period.
Correct.
Unless there's an ad of a friendly, or unless we lose an hour, because again, there's 4 clubs in our own rink, and there's a couple of times during the year we lose all the ice of a weekend because of a girls' tournament. There's the CCM thing that just happened, we lost all the ice. So anyway, yes, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday.
Or Sundays.
Or Sunday.
Tuesday, Friday, Sundays, yes. No, it's every Friday.
I was mistaken in the earlier email. Gabe has us to our loss Friday. So, given the opportunity, you know, I mentioned it before, so major not the first week when there was an extra hour.
So,
But
yes,
you
so
know,
last week, the majors had that one slot because that's all I had to schedule. And so, not selfishly, but just accordingly to the majors, they got that extra just for that 1 week. Going forward, it's now 2 times Tuesday, 2 times Friday, 2 times Sunday for minors and majors.
Anybody else? Last comment, and the plan is not to have a huge amount of discussion about this, but there is a jamboree, if you will, at Keystone called the 9280. That jamboree is not sanctioned by CCYHL or CAHA, so we have nothing to do with it. If you want to go to it, did we block out teams?
there are, I believe, 2 U8 teams locked out this year, 1 advanced, 1
Well,
intermediate.
it doesn't even matter. 2
Right,
teams.
2 teams.
How many did you have? Do you have any more?
2.
So we have 4 total. So we have 4 total blocks of rosters, which means 8. The maximum is 8 on a roster to go to Keystone over the weekend of.
January 25th to 27th.
It's super expensive. It's already sold out. You
You're
get,
looking at a minimum of $250 a night for
Yep.
a room, and most of them are already booked, because we already booked it for Bantams. You're pretty much driving at least a half hour to 45 minutes to the rink, unless you have something you
Yeah.
already have there.
Yeah.
It's a very, very expensive trip.
and so not to discourage it by saying, oh my God, it's so expensive, you gotta drive a long way, because it's a super great experience to go skate on the lake at Keystone, because it's completely frozen and it's a real frozen lake outside hockey tournament. Nathan will get communications out to get you to sign up. Because we have 4 slots, and if we don't use the 4 slots, we want to give them back. Okay? But we did that just to protect them for you, but it has nothing to do with the flyers. Does that make sense? Last thing I'll leave you with. Robin Smith has some grocery cards.
I can only be here for about 15 minutes.
She's going to work with
We gotta
Angie,
go
right? To transition to Angie so that we can keep that thing going. But anyway, that was probably the last thing I wanted to hear on.
So it's not tonight, later, right? If not tonight, you can get it later.
Yes,
Yes,
that's the
sure.
point.
Basically all season.
Anything else? Going once? Going twice?
Thank you guys. Welcome to Flyers.